Hey everyone, welcome back to ABDUCTION. I'm here with a brand new video for you guys. I'm going to be talking about Riverdale Season 5, Episode 7, titled Chapter 83, Fire in the Sky. And before I get into it, I just have a couple quick things to say. First of all, if you can please subscribe to my channel down below, I will really appreciate it because I'm trying to reach a goal of hitting 350 subscribers by the time that school gets let out by the end of the year. So that is my official new goal for my YouTube channel. So if you can subscribe down below, I will really appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the episode. There's 5 specific storylines that are going on. So, first up, Archie, the fire department storyline. It was good. The problem I have with it is that, like, I wish we saw more of, like, this, like, fire backstory, if that makes any sense. Like, I wish we got to see, like, more development with that. Unfortunately, it just doesn't seem like we're getting that much. Like, it feels like it kind of came out of nowhere, in my opinion. Now, it's Archie, you know. He had, like, 5 businesses. I mean, that's why him and Veronica were together all those years in high school, because they own so many businesses. But, like, I'm just intrigued. I am intrigued to see where it's going. I think that having this Corporal Jackson person in is good for Archie because I really like their moments this episode. Like, those two together, great actor, first off. He actually has a leggy in between real life, which I'm sorry to hear about that. But, like, fantastic acting between the two of them. I mean, I think their scenes are going to be, like, one of the highlights of Archie's storyline, I think. I think that those two together, like, they easily made this episode, like, the best moments are those two together. I think that they're focusing on real-life issues, specifically with Archie's storyline this time around, and I do really like that, where, like, it was, like, aliens the first time around. So that is kind of my opinion on that storyline. Archie running into a burning building is not surprising. It's Archie Andrews, you know. I mean, but also, we did not get any Betty and Archie scenes this week, which I'm sure next week we're going to get more to that love triangle, Archie, Betty, and Veronica, and I'm excited to see where that happens to go in the future. But, you know, Archie's, I didn't mind it. I mean, I liked how, like, he's always had that sacrificing part to him. And, you know, I think that, again, his scenes with Corporal Jackson were really well done. I'm interested to see, like, what the future of this fire business means and how, you know, he kind of, like, is trying to build on the legacy of his father and then his grandfather. We got to know a little bit more about that. The only complaint I have with this is that, you know, I wanted more of, like, a little bit more background to that, if that makes any sense. Moving on to the Cheryl and Toni stuff, I mean, the dance battle, we kind of knew about it since January 1st when RAS posted something in an Instagram story about Cheryl battling a dance student. And we saw it this episode, we saw that fight. Originally, Cheryl challenged Toni to a dance-off, a Star Vixen was the label of it, and she took over because Toni was pregnant. And there's a lot of tension between Cheryl and Toni because now they're like, you know, they're both like taking charge over the cheer team. And then they have this big fight where Toni says there are people working every day in this town to make it better, and here you are just being cruel and you're being mean for pretty much no reason. And Cheryl's like, I contribute enough money to this town to help things out. And Toni says, money isn't going to solve the issue. Which, I mean, Toni has been voice of reason this season so far. I'm sad that she's leaving next episode. But she's getting a really good amount of time, like, easily, like, she's been, like, the MVP of every episode so far, from episodes 4 through 7 now. Really well done. Her character's been really well done. Now, like, and then Cheryl says, like, and then, like, Tony's like, you're gonna have to take a really good look at yourself in the mirror and get it together. And Cheryl's like, your words are beyond cruelty. Which I understand, because, like, Toni made a comment about Cheryl's mom in this episode, which I mean, I kind of understand, like, why she said it, but then again, like, it's Cheryl's trauma, you know. I think that you gotta be careful when it comes to stepping around Cheryl's trauma, and Archie made that big mistake last episode when it came to, bringing up the Jason card for asking Cheryl for money to help support the team. You gotta be careful when you talk about Cheryl's trauma, because it can either go good or bad. Toni got the bright side of it in episode 5. Archie got the bad side of it in episode 6, but that's also because it's Archie. But like, I think I'm taking Tony's side in this situation, but like I'm interested to see if there's going to be like a big shocking reveal of like them next episode. Like, will they get back together, or will there be more tension? And what is this Miss Marvel person have to do with it? Because it's pretty clear that she's set up to be some sort of love interest for Cheryl. Is that going to be a love triangle? What is going to cause Tony to leave? Will Cheryl be upset about the identity of Tony's baby? It's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen there. Intriguing. I'm excited for it as always. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is the whole investigation into like the bodies. So we saw at the end of last episode how there was a human hand sticking out of a swamp because Paula went missing. It turns out that it is registered to someone named Jane Doe, and it's been sitting there for 30 years. Betty is also investigating Margaret Harper, who's on the missing report for the last 7 years. And it's not Margaret Harper from that body, it's Jane Doe. But then she talks to her mom, which I gotta say, there is a lot of new characters being added, and like I feel like this time jump, they're doing an okay job with like having like the characters interact with each other more, like the main characters. But it feels like they're introducing so many new characters, and they're just like one-time things. It feels like they're asking so many people to come in for just one scene. It's kind of weird in my opinion. So we have like it's not Margaret Harper at first, and then they decide to go back to the swamp because Alice finds Polly's phone in the swamp, and she's covered in mud at the house, which I feel like Alice like has gotten worse without FP by her side because now she's just lonely, and FP really made her stand out, and now she's just covered in mud. It's kind of sad how her character is this way. I'm hoping that there's like some sort of like redemption like for her character. It's not like she needs it because she's gotten better. It just like it feels like her character is just like now the fact that she's even covered in mud in the first place is just odd, and it shows that like she's not doing well. Like this is her life that just really gone downhill for her. I'm sorry. So they decide to go to the swamp to investigate and see if they can find Polly again, and Hiram and Reggie come up and stop them and say that they are trespassing on private property. Hiram tries to like be like, Alice, I know that you're upset about your daughter being missing, which I'm not sure if he really has his right to speak considering he's not really protective towards his daughter. Betty says, I am from the FBI, I have the right, and Hiram's like, okay, please get off my property now. So, it's not necessarily sure if they're hiding something or if they add more to the storyline, but, Betty goes back to, this. Well, first of all, Glenn calls Betty. It's been a while since we've seen him. I'm assuming he'll be back in future episodes. And he says that the trash bag killer has returned, and he is now who's the one who kidnapped Betty and did that trauma thing over the 7-year time jump. And he has returned, and now Betty is super scared. Like, what is the trash bag killer? Now, I do think that has some sort of connection with these missing people and the truckers. I think that maybe the trash bag killer, like, he was mad at Betty, so he took Polly. Now, like, there has to be, like, good reasoning. I don't want it to be, like, a cheap thing because they're introducing, like, all these other bodies of people we don't even know. So it'll just be interesting to see what is going on there. So then Betty goes to the swamp, and Reggie says, get off, but then Reggie starts to maybe turn over a new leaf because he says that there's another missing body, which turns out to be Margaret's. So Margaret's body is there, so they found that one. So now Margaret's has been found, Jane has been found, but Polly is still there. Now, it looks like there are 21 missing people. That was the big cliffhanger of the episode. There are 21 missing people, and they might all be taken by the trash bag killer, and like they were put in the swamp. So there could be 21 bodies in that swamp somewhere. That's kind of like the end, and the trash bag killer are somehow connected. So interesting. I'm excited to see where it goes. When will they find Polly? That is kind of like the big question I have. Like, what does this mean for the future? Again, it's really intriguing to see. And I think that it's kind of nice that Reggie like talked to Hiram and like kind of like stood up. Okay, so Veronica has a plan because she wants to support local businesses in Riverdale, and she enlists the help of her students to do that. First off, she's printing Monopoly money, because she wants to pass out these river dollars to people, and then they turn them into White Worm, Pops of the Bijou to support them, and they collect these river dollars, and it's supposed to show like a positive input for Riverdale, which is of course dying. And then Hiram is it's fake money, obviously, but then Hiram is kind of like printing real money to like counterfeit it, but then it turns out to be her students all along. It was just kind of weird because it feels like Veronica like set her students up to fail because like it's economics class. It's like ninth or 10th grade. You don't do these kind of projects with your. I mean, it's Veronica, I know. I mean, she's not really a good teacher, even though, like, she acts like she is. She doesn't know a thing about what she's doing. I mean, even Archie, I think, is doing a better job than her. I mean, he's not setting a good example, but at least he's showing what it means to protect someone. Veronica, meanwhile, is setting up plans to support businesses in Riverdale. But it's not necessarily illegal, but it's not a good path for the students to follow because, I mean, they're printing off now all this money and they're not being honest about it, and, like, they're getting involved in, like, Hiram Lodge. It's kind of weird. So, but then, like, now they're doing community service. So the whole thing was kind of interesting. Like, why would you want to, like, I mean, I understand that, like, you want to help Riverdale out as much as you can. Like, you want to save it from your father's, like, like, grip. But, like, it's still just a little bit too much, in my opinion. Okay, now we're moving on to the alien storyline. This is just weird to me. It's not. There's only one problem I have with it. While it's interesting, I think it has some sort of, like, military thing, like, some sort of, like, some sort of military thing, but, like, it's just, like, it's weird. That's pretty much it. Like, I mean, I just don't understand, like, why we had to go this far with Riverdale. Why couldn't we have, like, a different mystery that was actually interesting? Like, this alien mystery. I'm hoping that they're not bringing real-life aliens in. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that's, like, again, something military. I mean, I know a friend who said that could be a possibility. I mean, I think that would be really cool to see. And it would just make way more sense than having real aliens come in. But apparently, like, one time, like 20 years ago or something, maybe even more than that. Well, definitely more than that, like 30 to 40 years ago, Pop's diner shook, and like lights came on, like the whole diner was shaking and everything was coming out. It was like someone has invaded their diner, and then it was all gone. Happened again to Jughead when he was there alone. Was it a dream? I don't think it was a dream. I think this is something real. I do not think it's an alien per se, although they do get a maple alien, and that's like, first of all, creepiest thing I've ever seen in my lifetime. Like, that is beyond creepy. Like, ill. That grossed my eyes out, honestly. Like, great job, writers, for doing that to me. That disgusting, honestly. I mean, I'm just interested to see, like, what does this mean for, like, the future of, like, this storyline? Like, is it, like, that alien caused that to happen to, like, trick them? Is Tabitha behind all of this? Was it just a dream? Is Hiram behind all of this? There's so many unknowns, and it feels like it's not leading anywhere. Like, I think that you can just comment down below your feelings about this storyline, but, you see, here's the episode. It was okay to me. Like, definitely not as good as what we've gotten in the past few weeks. It's just like, I just don't feel like we got as much content. Like, there was not as many things happening. No Benny and Archie either, which I was upset about. But like, I was just kind of disappointed in, like, the pacing and how things went and how it was, like, slower. But comment down below your thoughts about the episode below. Again, I don't have much of an opinion on it. It's just like, I mean, I don't know. But anyways, I want to thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications to miss a video. Thanks for watching, and